ends. Try my best, but the sea never ends. The waves, they come, holding me down beneath the surface of the thoughts of us and what we have. Could it be enough? How do we keep the love that we have? How do we find something that will last? Never easy, never on time, never sure if we'll be alright. How do we keep the love that we have? How do we find something that will last? Never easy, never on time, never sure if we'll be alright. How do we keep the love that we How do we keep the love that we have? How do we keep the love that we have? Overthinking over this feeling, stuck in my bedroom, staring at the ceiling. Predict the future before it happens, when storytelling becomes a habit. How do we keep the love that we have? How do we find something that will last? Never easy, never on time, never sure if we'll be alright. How do we keep the love that we have? How do we keep the love that we Never easy, never on time, never sure if we'll be alright. How do we keep the love that we have? How do we keep the love that we have? How do we keep the love that we How do we keep the love that we have?
Ahora sí, los reyes del swing. Muévelo para la izquierda, para la derecha, como dice. El que busca una pareja, to the flow, to the flow. Traga la botella, to the flow, to the flow. El que tenga buena vibra, to the flow, to the flow. The party is getting started, se sentó, se prendió, como dice. To the flow. Échale. To the flow. To the flow. calle pa' la pista de baile con la mano en el aire. Estamos afuera, we outside, un desmadre en la calle. Estamos afuera, we outside, un desmadre en la calle. El que hubo una pareja to the flow, to the flow. Traiga la botella to the flow, to the flow. El que tenga buena vibra to the flow, to the flow. Se prendió, como dice.
All the pretty music.
I know it's pretty good. The first one was pretty good. The little kind of had a Spanishy flair to it.
Yeah, I'm very much a fan of the artist that was on that song. So the song is called "To the Floor," featuring Jay Cruz, but that's by Dioro, who I'm a massive fan of, featuring Riot 10.
Nice.
Yeah, Dioro is the guy behind, or he's the mind behind, LA EDM, and basically it is a style of like fusion of Latin music and EDM, and it's so dope.
All right, well that's added to one of my playlists, and there we go.
Like I said, look up Dioro, man. Deorro.
I got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's funny because he pronounces it like it's spelled Dioro, but it's supposed to be de oro, which means of gold.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
De oro. Nice.
Well, guys.
Hey, don't we have a show?
I think we do. So let's get ready to have some fun. Let's do this.
Distance nerding.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. It is Thursday. We're ready for some building. I've got a new camera angle tonight. Not on my face, but for
yes, you got to see a sneak peek of Phil's ceiling.
Yeah, for the Lego on the build and everything. But ladies and gentlemen, I am ready. We are juiced here to get back into some building goodness. I am your boy Young Phil, and joining me co-hosting tonight, because Graveyard is not feeling too well out of the grave.
Yes,
it is our boy, the man of many pennies. The man who will do anything for, he says, the right amount of money. I say any amount of money. Ladies and gentlemen, should do.
Oh, yeah.
It's happy, man.
or Shud, otherwise known as Shud.
Shud the Chud. Oh God, I should totally have Eric's new picture that he just sent me earlier today as my background from now on. So I have to show everybody this because I'm going to be posting it on Instagram. So don't worry, you guys will be seeing it in full, definition.
Full 4K HD, but
right, full Phil K in Phil K HD.
Phil K. So that's maybe like 1K, but whatever.
So how many of you guys out there? He said, "Do it,
do it, just do it."
Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan should do. That's Eric just said. It's SSGS should do, and he's saying that you are a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
Thanks.
No. So how many of you guys are familiar with the handsome Squidward memes, or maybe watched the first season of SpongeBob and you guys know who handsome Squidward is, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Eric drew me.
That's fucking incredible, man.
That's
amazing.
As handsome Squidward, and it's funny because every time he jumps in the chat, he'll say, "Oh yes, it's handsome Phil," right? And it's like I love, like, it flatters the living shit out of me when he does that, right? But now he has drawn, and I love the 5 o'clock shadow. It's not like a full beard.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. I love how it's like legitimately in that style.
Yes,
it looks like a still from SpongeBob. Seriously,
yeah, it is. Like I said, it's 100%. It looks like. Look at those cheekbones, man.
I know, it's amazing. I am always astounded by people who just have like natural artistic talent. I do not get it. I mean, I'm an artist in a different way. I'm a writer, but in terms of like actually drawing and sketching and digital art and all of that, I do not understand it. That is miraculous to me.
It's like down to the side part, but then for some reason I've got a butt chin. It's great.
Right. It's so good. I'm not criticizing. All it needed was a little bit of muscle.
Give me some back muscle. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Rocking the shoulders like that.
Yeah. There you go.
Have you guys seen the new logo? I have seen the new logo. I don't know if Graveyard, because I would want him to post that. I don't know if they've officially posted that yet, but he did just do a new logo for Conversations in the Void, and it is fucking amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is so cool, dude. The new logo for Conversations in the Void is great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'll give you guys a hint. Cthulhu, and that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, Cthulhu, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Ooh, all right.
It's fucking great, dude. It is so good. Eric continuously outdoes himself, and it is amazing.
No, it's seriously just fucking incredible, man.
Yeah. The artwork is always great. Again, you guys have seen me. I still, to this day, I think I was wearing a shirt on Friday. I still wear the Lucharilla's gear. I was rocking the Super Saiyarilla on Friday.
I didn't even know that was Eric.
Yeah, that's the Lucharilla's was Eric. That was all his work.
That's awesome. I didn't even, for some reason that didn't connect, but yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I've always loved that kind of stuff. I thought it was very unique.
Yeah, the all that stuff, guys. I'm just throwing it out there. Hit up Eric Ruiz.
Yeah.
Commission work. You have to get it done. You have to get support local artists, but support Eric, not only just because he's our friend, but he's an amazing fucking artist, guys.
Yeah, definitely. And it's you've seen some of that here today and throughout the history of the show.
Right. I'm gonna put it in the chat just because now I'm just giving him all of that. Rates are $25 an hour.
Well, hey, that's pretty reasonable.
These,
In the grand scheme of things, that's pretty good.
I'm putting it in the chat right now for everybody.
I mean, you know, that's incredible value for what you're getting. So
guys,
yeah.
check him out. I just posted that there. That's his Instagram. I'm gonna post it on Instagram too here. But yes, definitely, guys, check out Eric's work. It is great work. Yeah, that's his IG.
Yeah.
Eric's YouTube. I don't know if StreamYard will let me actually pull his YouTube up.
Mm-hmm.
It won't. I have to pull it up from. I have to pull it up actually on YouTube, but still, guys, support local artists, support all different people. Again, you know, we're really big on supporting indie. That is one of the big things that we do. Is now glowing brighter. You know, we are big supporters of indie. You know, we started off as talking to you know, A-list to B-list to C-list celebrities, and people in the background of like film, and then we got into indie comics, and now we do a lot of indie comic work, and you know, we are so happy. I'm very happy that we ended up going in that realm, because we've gotten a chance to meet amazing and talented people, so many screenwriters that ended up in comics, and it's great stuff, guys. So
you don't know the depth and variety and quality of all of the indie stuff until you really get into it.
That's right. Sack Deadpool's in here, so you know
there's
trouble. You don't know the power of the art side. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about sponsors here. Ladies and gentlemen, this show, everything we do here is brought to you by the good folks over at Dubby. That's right. Dubby is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Now, you may be wondering to yourself, why? Why Dubby? Why, of all the things that are out there, should I get Dubby? And it's because Dubby contains Neurofactor. Neurofactor is a neurotropic derived from the coffee fruit. Neurofactor helps give your brain focus and clarity, while the 150 milligrams of caffeine and 3 essential B vitamins help you stay alert and energized. Find out more about Dubby at www.dubby.gg. Use the code NERDING10 and get 10% off your order. Awesome stuff, guys. I'm not going to be drinking any because I've had enough caffeine today. But you got to remember those the big cups that I make. That's 300 milligrams of caffeine.
God,
it's 150 per serving, and I'm putting in 2 servings when I do that.
Oh yeah, I'm not to, you know, bash on our sponsor or anything. I don't want to. I'm not really a caffeine person, so. That's the thing. My body does not react well to it. So that's just insane to me. So
all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this. Like I said, I got a new angle here. No, I was saying, so I got a new angle here. Mostly just top down, so that you guys can actually see me doing the work here.
Yeah, awesome. No, I kind of like it being a little bit more overhead. It's almost more stylistic. It's good. All right. So since Gravy cannot be here, I am the bracket host. So
right, we've got brackets.
We do have brackets. We're going to finish off the Star Wars characters one, and then we have another bracket, which we will get to when we're finished with the Star Wars one.
That's right. So remember, guys, we are voting on best Star Wars character. Unfortunately, because I know this saddens Shadu, but Padme has been kicked out of the bracket. So.
Again, as I said before, she was not a very strong character. So she should have been better, but there's kind of a missed opportunity there. So, anyway, so in terms of where we're at here, we have Jabba the Hutt. Sorry. In terms of so who went last time? So we have Boba Fett, Luke Skywalker, Din Djarin the Mandalorian, Han Solo, Grand Admiral Thrawn, Anakin Skywalker, Chewbacca, and Ahsoka Tano. So, and our first matchup here is Boba Fett versus Luke Skywalker.
Oh, the Fett versus Skywalker. All right. So where do we go on this? Where do we land? How do we feel about this, guys?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, it's got to be Luke, right? I mean, like Boba's cool, sure, and has gotten a lot more development and depth recently. Obviously, had a bunch in Legends, but to me, Luke is kind of the main character of the. I mean, Anakin technically is, but he's at least the main character of the original trilogy, and basically kicked off the whole thing. Versus a man. Sorry, yeah, is he a Mandalorian? He's technically a Mandalorian who had what was it like?
He's not Mandalorian
of scenes,
right? No. He's not Mandalorian by creed. He's
right.
Mandalorian. Technically, he's not even Mandalorian by birth because his dad was a foundling.
His dad was a foundling. He's Mandalorian by culture, I guess.
Yeah. And I mean, he learned a portion of his culture, but like not the same way that his dad did. Like his dad was Mandalorian by creed.
He's kind of a Mandalorian cosplayer more than anything else.
Kind of, but I mean, like we've learned at this point that he may not live by the creed, but he does stake claim to the armor because it is a part of his chain code. It is his dad was the owner of the armor, and by tradition they pass down the armor to their children. And
exactly.
Even though he's a clone, he's the son of Jango Fett. So
right, and so technically, anyway. But point is, you have this kind of cool bounty hunter who just had a handful of scenes in the original trilogy, and then a bunch of shit in Legends, and then finally got reintroduced in canon very recently, and so we haven't gotten a lot more material from him. Well, I guess he had stuff in the Clone Wars too. So you have that, or you have the whiny little farm boy that started the whole thing.
He is the main protagonist of the series, though.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah, this is the thing. So I would say yes, and yeah, Sagadipul's right here. He's a clone of a Mandalorian. I don't but Jango isn't even. I mean, Mandalorian as in foundling. So he's a Mandalorian in the same way that Din is a Mandalorian.
Well, and that's why I say like he's a foundling, so he's not, or his dad was a foundling, and Boba never took the creed, so he's technically.
But you know what? Mandalore is not a place to people.
But even then, what I'm saying is that because he never took the oath, he can't even be Mandalorian by creed. So
right, exactly. So
he's not a blood Mandalorian.
Point is, he's a bounty hunter and somewhat connected to Mandalorian culture.
Right.
So, all right, let's see here. So I'm going with Luke, obviously. Phil, what do you think?
Well, okay, so what we're looking for is who's the most well written, right? So what we're looking for here, and this is just so the chat keeps this in mind with whoever they pick. We are looking for who's the most well written character, right? Who is the best character?
I would say, in terms of what we had for Boba versus what we've had for Luke, it's still Luke.
But also it's everything encompassed. So
right, it's everything. Yeah. So
so it's not just what's canon; it's also
just all of it
in Legends, everything like that. Who is the better character overall? And again, I'm saying that so that the chat keeps in
right.
When they
yeah.
Luke definitely has a lot more in the EU that makes much more of an interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
Boba has a lot more badass moments, though.
Yeah.
But to me, as much as Boba Fett is one of my all-time favorite characters.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is not to say he's a bad character. He's an amazing character.
Well, no, I'm giving my reasoning. I'm saying, yeah. I mean, Boba Fett is one of my all-time favorite characters. So it kind of pains me to say Luke Skywalker because the whole story it essentially revolves around Luke and his father.
Right, exactly.
Right, even to the point where you get into the sequel trilogy and it still revolves around
Luke. Still them, yeah.
So I mean, you get into the Hand of the Emperor and all the storylines with Mara Jade, and you get into Ben Skywalker, not Ben Solo, who was in the movies, but Ben Skywalker, his son in the books. Like you really start getting into some of the storylines that happen within Legends and everything like that, and then again you get into New Jedi Academy, and you get into Dark Apprentice, and then there's just so many different things that happen in the books that I think give Luke more of a compelling quality. So I think I go for Luke Skywalker in this.
All right, great. So I'll give the chat. No, I think those are very, very valid reasons. And yeah, you saying, oh, well, it's more about characters. I'm like, oh shit, hold on. But yeah, I do still think it's Luke. So I'll give the chat a little bit.
Yeah.
Here.
Because again, I if it were who was my favorite character, it's Boba Fett, hands down.
Oh yeah. But I mean, it's better written,
right,
in terms of So, okay. So we need Eric. We need you to vote, or anyone else in the chat who wants to that has not yet, because they are tied currently. We were tied at 3 each. So somebody needs to break this tie.
Let me check Instagram here.
Yep. See if there's other.
I've got no votes in Instagram, so.
All right. Come on, Instagram. Let's do it. We want your voices to be heard as well. So, but I mean, yeah, there's. It does become harder when you're considering Legends versus canon stuff and whatever, and like how kind of your opinions of certain pieces of material, like if you really didn't like like if you disliked okay, so Tater's father says Luke. I guess I'll accept that.
Tater's dad is watching the show though. So
okay, great. Yes, all right. So we have beautiful.
Jim does watch the show. He is watching the show.
Right. Awesome, cool. So that means probably surprising not many people. Luke Skywalker is moving on.
Welcome to the undefined.
All right.
Oh, nice. Hold on. Sock Deadpool just sent me a picture of him in the armor.
Ooh. All right. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Well, I see where you're biased, man. All right. So, for our next one, we have Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, weirdly enough, versus Han Solo. So we have two iconic scoundrels.
Yeah. So at this point, there's a lot less Din Djarin than there is Han Solo.
Very much so.
Yeah. But Din is such a fucking good character.
Oh yeah.
And the thing about Din Djarin too is that there's entire new lore that was created just because of Din Djarin.
Right. Exactly.
So it's kind of hard to vote Han over Din, but at the same time, Han defined what the criminal underground looks like.
Right. He kind of embodied that archetype that we've come to love, that Din was ultimately based upon, in a way. So yeah, no, I mean this is difficult. They both have like journeys and character arcs that are so different too.
Yeah.
Where Han kind of went from being a big asshole to becoming one of the heroes, one of the people who saved the galaxy, who liberated the galaxy.
Right.
I think Din probably has a kind of a similar arc coming, but it's for different reasons. For Han, it was more he had to kind of find within himself to realize, oh wait, I do care about other people, and I do, want to help. Whereas Din, it was Grogu turning him into a better person to protect this little child that he felt a connection to, and become his adoptive father. And so it's basically kind of it's a matter of which one of those you prefer and think is better character.
It's the story of when you become a father.
It's right. It's the story of when you become a father versus the story of kind of redemption and like finding it within yourself. It's a very minor, yeah. So in light of that, I'm going to say Han. Even though I think Din's character is amazing and his arc is really interesting and all of that, it's very Lone Wolf and Cub. It has a different vibe to it. Han had to get over like himself by himself. I mean, obviously, people helped him. Obviously, Leia, I think, influenced him. Luke did, seeing the rebellion for what it was and all of that kind of, that helped him come to that decision, but he had to do it himself. Whereas Din was almost forced into it a little bit by Grogu. Not that's a bad thing. That's a valid form of character development. But I feel like with Han, it was a little bit more impactful to me, at least. So yeah, that's why I'm saying Han as well.
And especially if we're looking at Han Solo before Lucas went and like changed everything on the story.
Right, exactly. So I mean, I'm not as familiar with Legends in terms of like specific characters besides the Old Republic stuff, just because that's what I was into. So I don't really know too much about Han and Legends, but it yeah. So I know there was some weird shit. He befriended a green rabbit at some point. I know that.
He did.
I liked, and obviously you consider for canon stuff too. You consider Solo, Star Wars story, which I mean it was a decent depiction of Han, so that's. Say what you will about that movie, but I think they got Han Solo down at least,
except for in one scene.
Yeah, exactly.
There's only one scene that I 100% resent in that movie, and that was when Kira goes, "Han, you're a good guy. You've always been the good guy," and it's like, no, Han is a fucking scoundrel. Han is a piece of shit.
He is a motherfucker, but.
No, and it's
needs that too.
I did not like the idea of Han is always the good guy. Han is just playing the role. I like the idea better that Han is exactly who he seems he is. He is a self-centered piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a scumbag.
Right. He cares about no one but himself. And in the final moments of the first movie, when in A New Hope, when he turns around and comes back and cares about his friends enough to come back, that is like a defining moment. It's him changing his fate and just basically being like, I'm gonna be a new person. And like going on from there, the compelling story of it is Han coming to terms with who he was versus who he now is, and a lot like the interactions with Leia and the whole she told me her true feelings, and things like that, where he's like just being a jerk.
Yeah.
Right. It's a lot of it is him coming to terms with, like, okay, maybe I am a good person.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, so I definitely think that is a more meaningful to me journey than what Din went through. Even though Din's story is so different and is a different way. I don't think Din was as much of a terrible person.
Din's less of a scoundrel. And more that he's brainwashed and part of a cult,
Right.
and he's starting to deprogram from that cult.
Right, exactly. And so it is a profoundly different story. I just think Hans is a little bit more interesting, again, to me. So, all right, I'll do it in a minute here, and we'll see if currently we have 4 votes for Han and none for Mando. So
Nobody voted for Din Djarin down.
no one has voted for Din. So if anyone wants to throw in a token vote for Mando, it's not going to do anything, but you can make your voice heard.
Sadly, because I am also
Make a statement.
I'm also voting for Han Solo. So
awesome, I gotcha. I had already put you down for Han. So
okay,
great. Cool. Damn it, Eric.
What did Eric say?
Eric said, "Sorry guys, I haven't watched anything Star Wars."
James, I love this bar.
Well, Tater said it about 4 comments before that.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And now I have to listen to Solo Cup.
So that means that Han Solo unanimously moves on.
I build you up. Let's have a party.
All right. So with that, our next matchup here is Grand Admiral Thrawn versus Anakin Skywalker.
Oh my God. Okay, that's not fair.
No, it's not.
That's not fair. Grand Admiral Thrawn versus Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin. Yeah.
God. Okay.
No. Side is it not fair though? That's the question.
It's not fair at all. But I have to go Anakin.
Oh,
just because, not only because he is the most iconic and he is what draws everybody to Star Wars, but now even the story arcs that are being written for him now, where they're updating everything with Hayden Christensen and all this stuff and just everything that's going on, he's even more like he's just an even better character now.
Yeah, exactly. They're kind of redeeming him, if you will, from kind of the missteps of the prequels and how George wrote him.
And I mean, it's not so much that as it was just you have an actor who didn't really have much to work with and had to act off of purely green screen. So it's just kind of like,
right, exactly.
Yeah. At Grand Admiral Thrawn, I mean, we're looking at Heir to the Empire. We're looking at the new Thrawn series that came out. We're looking at, of course, everything in Clone Wars and all that. At Grand Admiral Thrawn is such a profoundly scary character.
Oh, yeah. Like I mean, in terms of iconic villains, it's, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's hard to vote against Grand Admiral Thrawn, but at the same time, it's Anakin Skywalker, so that's like
it has to be. It just, yeah. I mean, in terms of what they've done with Anakin and how he is the linchpin for the whole fucking series. Right. I mean, obviously now he's not. We've expanded beyond the Skywalker saga, thank the gods, but he was kind of the catalyst to all of this. And so he has to be, I mean, he's got to be, whether he's better written or not, he's the most important.
Whole reason the prequels came to be was because he had Lucas always wanted to go back and tell Anakin's story.
Yeah, exactly. So I know. So yeah, we're both voting Anakin. Okay, so I have a Thrawn here, Anakin. Then we voted Anakin. Okay, so if anyone else wants to try to get Thrawn in the lead, because Thrawn is with 2 and Anakin's with 3. So If anyone wants to try to push this a little bit.
Who else voted for
Yeah.
Thrawn? I see Sack Deadpool voted for Thrawn. Did you vote for Thrawn?
I did not vote for Thrawn. I see Sack Deadpool voted for Thrawn. Jeff voted for.
Oh, Jeff DeLong. Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah. And then Tater and we voted for Anakin. So. All right. Yeah.
Let me check Instagram here.
Yeah.
Nothing on Instagram. All
right. Great. So then, there we go. Anakin Skywalker again, probably surprising no one. Moves on. All right, and then we have our next one, which is Chewbacca versus Ahsoka Tano.
Chewbacca versus Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chewie. I love you, Chewie. Ahsoka Tano.
It's gotta be, right? I mean,
I keep making this argument every single time. Ahsoka Tano is one of the most well-written characters in all of Star Wars.
Very, very much so. And talk about going from having kind of a redemption arc almost, too. Is like, nobody liked Ahsoka. Even I didn't like Ahsoka the first, in the first season or so of Clone Wars. And then they made her this incredible character and really, through the actress and through all the people that have played her, they've made. Yeah, exactly.
Ashley Eckstein. Ashley Eckstein, her performance was so good.
Yeah, exactly. And it just, is incredible. I think, Rosario Dawson is doing a incredible job carrying that torch and honoring that character and what she has become, and allowing us kind of as a vessel to explore the philosophy of the Force and go beyond the basic, good versus evil balance and whatever, and kind of explore more nuance and more like, well, the light side can also present as this, and the dark side is not that bad sometimes, and it's it's really exploring those great Jedi concepts in canon too that were so prevalent in Legends, and so that's just
I always liked the idea of Rosario Dawson and kind of like how much work she put into that character, because she said that she went and watched every single episode of Clone Wars in preparation for playing Ahsoka, and it was mostly just because she wanted to study Ashley's performance and emulate that on screen.
Yeah, exactly. And I think she fucking nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely did.
And it's So, all right, well, let's get to end it there because we have 5 for Ahsoka and 1 for Chewie. So,
who voted for Chewie?
Eric.
Oh, it was Eric. Okay.
That was Eric. So basically we have 5 for Ahsoka and then nothing, so. All right, so yes, Tano, again, surprising no one, moves on. All right, so we have our final 4 now.
I'm sorry. Eric posted the picture of Handsome Phil on Instagram.
Oh.
And Night of the Chihuahuas just commented on it and said, "Hunk of chunk of burning love at distance starting." Guys are killing me.
All right. So for our first the final 4 matchup, we have, and I don't know how we got here, we have Luke Skywalker versus Han Solo. The two
guys,
or you got one of the 3, like the core 3 from the original trilogy. We have everyone's third favorite character and everyone's favorite character.
Third favorite character?
Luke is everyone's third favorite character.
Oh, you're such a hater.
Because it goes Han, Leia, then Luke. He may be the hero, but he's also an idiot. All right, so
that's such
all right. We've got one for. No, I really don't hate Luke Skywalker. I being a blonde person myself, I do feel a lot of kinship with that. And also, I mean, hey, green lightsabers are cool. So
Being a man of pigment challenge.
yes, a pigment challenge of very yes. I do feel a kinship there. So and yeah, I would say that I personally liked Luke better than Han, but I mean that changes. It depends on your yeah. So again, same arguments there. I'm saying you poor Luke. I don't have poor Luke. Stop calling me shut, damn it. So I would say, even after I did my whole joke about that, I would say probably Luke over Han, simply because Luke is the main character and has had more development than Han, since again by virtue of being the main character.
Yeah.
So now that's a good point. DeLong Family Cosplay. That's a good point. That without Han destroying the TIE Fighter, Luke would have never destroyed the Death Star. Again, that is a good point, but we're looking at better written characters. And I think Luke, that kind of coming of age story of where he goes from being a, annoying, whiny little farm boy on a backwater desert planet to
a
the
annoying
Last Jedi. Yeah.
To be a annoying skilled monk still on a backwater planet.
He does get less annoying in Return of the Jedi, certainly. But to become the hero that the galaxy needed and the one to take down the Empire is very much a classic mythological story, a classic hero's journey. And I think that is, there's something to be said there. So we have though I do think that Han's gonna win.
Sadly, I go solo.
Okay.
Now that might upset you, but
I mean, I'm not too. Again, I flip flop, so I understand. And this is a very very I'm probably not expressing how difficult this is. This is a very difficult bracket because we all have so much connection to these characters and things too. So what I'm thinking, when I first watched Star Wars, I was like, okay, who did I like better? And I feel like it was Luke. Not by much though. I did really like Han. I love Leia. For many reasons. I mean, I like Han for many reasons too, but okay, so yeah, unless anyone wants to try to drum up about 3 more votes for Luke, I think Han is moving on. So yeah, all right, I'm gonna say so. We have Han Solo moving on. The main character of the best Star Wars trilogy has now been eliminated. And for the next one, it's almost as funny because it is Anakin Skywalker versus Ahsoka Tano.
Oh my god. This has happened multiple times. As far as like a fight goes. They have
as far as a fight, yes, but in terms of better characters.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Exactly. I know. I don't. Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna talk my way through this. So basically, I feel like a lot of Ahsoka's character. Well, I mean, some of it's not, but I think a good portion of Ahsoka's character is her connection to Anakin, right?
Yeah.
So if Anakin wasn't there, she may be a different character and maybe a worse character. I think her relationship with Anakin is something that makes her a better character, but wouldn't exist without Anakin. So I don't know, but I also think Ahsoka is more consistently written too. She is consistently a great character, whereas Anakin is not. Um, so, you know, I mean, but again, they're kind of both on the same level there, and it's basically just what you prefer. Do you prefer the story of going from being a you know a good person to being a mass murdering Sith to being redeemed by your own son who never gave up on you, or of being a good person, wanting to be a better person, realizing the Jedi weren't all they were cracked up to be, basically getting thrown out and throwing yourself out subsequently,
I never
and,
gave up on you, Dad.
and then finding that you were kind of right and that the Force is more nuanced than that, and then becoming a gray Jedi that eventually came to essentially, came to be a what your master wanted you to be, what Anakin always should have been. So it's crazy, which one of those do you find better? I feel like I am going for Ahsoka, simply because I don't think I would have stayed invested in Star Wars if it wasn't for the Clone Wars and especially for all of those dynamics there. And we probably wouldn't like Anakin as much as we all do without Clone Wars either.
Yeah, definitely, and I will 100% put everything behind that.
So I'm saying Ahsoka.
Yeah, Anakin as a character was not that good until he was revisited in Clone Wars.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, exactly. And that's why we all love Hayden Christensen. Wanted to play specifically that version. So, okay, so I think it's all Ahsoka so far. And you're going for Ahsoka? Phil? I mean, you don't have to, obviously.
I know. It's difficult because it's kind of like Ahsoka is so well written and so well done, but at the same time, like Anakin Skywalker is Anakin Skywalker, and then you're not only bunching in just him as Anakin, you're also need to consider like everything is Vader.
Everything is Vader, exactly. One of the most iconic villains in cinema history and in the history of human storytelling, even. Yeah. So, I get that too. I'm saying just for consistency and being a good character, I would say it's Ahsoka. But I don't know. Again, this is really hard, and if you ask me the same question tomorrow, I might say something different. So.
This is really hard. Because I'm so invested in these characters, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what makes this so difficult and so interesting. I swear the next bracket will be less emotionally involved. I hate stand on the high ground. Yeah.
It's over, Anakin. Ahsoka has the high ground.
We have we have Frey Girl. We have Frey. Who was saying Ahsoka? I don't think we have any votes for Anakin so far.
Really?
Nope. I think everyone has voted Ahsoka so far. Yeah. Again, you do also have to consider Legends. So when we're talking about Anakin,
which I mean, I do.
Yeah, exactly. And still, Ahsoka is more nuanced. Exactly. I agree with that.
And I think that's why I'm leaning towards Ahsoka, is because she is a much more nuanced character.
Yeah.
She is considered a gray Jedi.
Exactly.
Because she is morally ambiguous. She's not
right. But morally ambiguous in the interest of compassion rather than dogma. And that's really I definitely feel a kind of a kinship with that too. So
Yeah, I think I do go. I think I do go Ahsoka.
great. All right, so that is 6 votes for Ahsoka and none for Anakin. So unanimously, Ahsoka moves on, and that means our final matchup. Can I get some drum roll, please? Drum roll.
Just
Yep,
because
sure, that works.
way on the other side of the room. So
Our final matchup is Han Solo versus Ahsoka Tano.
oh shit. I think I have to go Ahsoka just because, as much as I love Han, I think there's a lot more badly written shit about Han than there is, necessarily good.
Yeah.
Whereas
exactly.
Ahsoka is consistently a well-written character.
Yeah, exactly. And for what has been written about Han and how all of that, then yeah, I'm also going Ahsoka. So, and I believe everyone is going Ahsoka. So I have, that's okay. So us two, Frey, Jeff, Sandra, Zach Deadpool. Yeah,
Not
I
voted for
yeah.
Solo.
I don't think anyone's I don't think anyone is going on. I'm just gonna call it there because I don't think unless we get an influx of like 7 more people. It's yeah. So unanimously, we have declared from our ivory tower of objective truth, from our palace of logic and reason, from the words that will be sent down to adorn the commandments of truth that all nerds shall abide by, we declare that Ahsoka Tano is the best Star Wars character.
And that is official. The internet must recognize
that. Is official. The internet, yes, the internet must recognize it.
We are
the in law, punishable by life in prison.
Right. We are the authority on all things nerdy on the internet.
Yes. And so saith distance nerding, so saith all. All right, so that was not that surprising, but still, somebody will be mad.
I have to start posting stuff like this on the internet, so that way the internet can get upset with us.
Right, exactly. But you know what? Hate traffic is just traffic. Saying. Haters are gonna hate, but they're gonna leave comments too.
That's the whole thing. Is like, we just have the entire internet be upset with us and be like,
"Yeah,
you called yourselves the authority of all things nerdy." Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. Deal with it. The algorithm doesn't know the difference exactly. All right, so with that shakeup,
and if anybody wants to challenge us, you can. Just know you have to fight me with the fucking fur darksaber.
Just know that you can email us at distancestream@aol.com. And we'll read it live on air.
Technically, if you really want to get into it, if you want to be the official authority of all things nerdy on the internet, all you have to do is pay Shadu the right amount of money.
Yeah, and I will
Shadu's corruption is boundless.
Corruption is boundless.
All you have to do is pay him the right amount of money.
Speaking of, I don't know how I can do a transition there. Speaking of endless corruption, we have
Palpatine.
Our next bracket. What?
Palpatine?
What? No. We have our next bracket, which our next bracket here, we are going to at least start tonight, and we'll probably get a decent way through because we actually finished the Star Wars character bracket a lot sooner than I thought we would. So we've got about an hour to actually do this one. So this bracket is the alternate history TV shows bracket.
Yes.
So we are looking for the best alternate history TV show. And basically what this takes it to mean is anything that has a divergence point in real history. So like an event went differently, a person died when they weren't supposed to, or lived longer than they were supposed to. It's your classic stuff. It's like, oh, the Axis powers won World War II. The South won the Civil War. JFK didn't die. That kind of thing. It's those kind of things. It's the what ifs of history. So it's real life what if. With that also, if any of your favorite alternate history TV shows, again, we are specifically saying TV shows, not movies, TV shows. If any of your favorites are not on here, we can only have 32. And blame me, I made this bracket. Though, of course, you can pay me any amount of money to completely change the bracket if you so wish. So, that being said, our first matchup is Fringe versus The Magicians.
Fringe versus The Magician.
So for the record, I did actually make this bracket. I know one of these. I vaguely know the other one. So
the one you know is The Magicians. The one you vaguely know is The Fringe.
The one I know is Fringe. The one I vaguely know is Magicians.
Wow.
So I don't think I've watched a lot of Fringe. I've seen some of it, but I've seen a lot of reviews and things of it. So I feel like I kind of get the general vibe. With The Magicians, I don't. I feel like I'd probably enjoy it more, but I know it's all, kind of fantasy, and there's a little bit of Narnia kind of stuff in there. Narnia-esque stuff in there.
Narnia adjacent.
Well, I think there's like another realm. Yeah. It's like grown-up, sexier Narnia, pretty much.
Grown-up, sexy Narnia.
Sexier Narnia. I mean, like Prince Caspian. Come on. Yes, Sack Deadpool Quantum Leap is in the bracket. Currently, we have 2 votes for Fringe. So, anyway, point is, I didn't even give my thing here. In terms of like best, and this is basically just preference, or if we're going with well written, or we're going with like how much you enjoy it, I feel like I probably enjoy The Magicians more, but to me that's more of an urban fantasy thing more than it is alternate history. So I'd say Fringe is I would go with Fringe, even though Fringe has like it's not as I know it's more there's a different realm. Also spoilers for all of these. There's a different realm in that one too, but it's historical. It's like a parallel universe rather than a magical Narnia kind of thing. So I think I'm also going Fringe. Phil, what do you think?
I think I'd go Fringe on this. It's a classic show.
Yeah.
Magicians is definitely a show that a lot of people are into right now, but
yeah. I expected Frey to vote for Magicians, so I thought she was a fan of that. But I mean, So
I mean, Frey also has pretty decent taste. So.
Oh yeah, exactly. So sometimes you haven't heard her music selections. For the record, I'm not offending anybody. I've made this very clear to you, Mom.
I'm just throwing it out there, but I probably listen to the same music as your mom.
Maybe. How much kind of stereotypical pop music do you listen to?
Well, okay, yeah. I don't listen to too much stereotypical pop music, but Jackie's a Taylor Swift fan, so
that's not. I don't know how. Frey, how do you feel about Taylor Swift? I honestly don't know. I've
on that T-Swizzle life.
I got you. No, I mean, hey, I get it. Of all the, I'm sorry, I'm going to piss off the internet in a different way now. of all of the like modern, really popular, singer-songwriters and like like musicians that are kind of in the mainstream right now, I would say Taylor Swift is among the best. So, as in terms of she knows what she's doing, even if I find it a little cliche. She at least has a message and is writing her stuff and is actually cares about the music rather than just being formulaic. So yeah, so point is, I get it, I respect it. I'm just not. It's kind of just not my thing. So, anyway, we've gotten completely off topic. I believe no one voted the Magicians, so Fringe is moving on. All right, so with our next matchup here is Sliders versus SSGB. I have heard of one of these and not heard of the other one. So SSGB. From the cursory research I did to make this, something about Nazis in Britain. So just Britain.
Ooh.
It's yeah. This drama series follows a British detective named Douglas Archer as he attempts to solve a murder case in Nazi-occupied London, following Germany's win in the Battle of Britain. Yeah, so it's basically BBC series. It looks like was so essentially the Nazis invade Britain. Is the idea there, and then it's a detective story.
It's actually a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, no, it sounds cool. And then Sliders is kind of a episodic show where it was different, like same set of characters, but they were going to different parallel universes every week. So, and there was kind of some interesting concepts in there, and some of them were not that interesting, but it was classic. So, I would say just in terms of familiarity, I'm going with Sliders. But SSGB sounds kind of interesting. So I would be down to watch that at some point. So yeah, what do you think? So we got one for Sliders, another one there. Phil, what are you going for?
I mean, I'm probably gonna go Sliders just because it's a show I've watched.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem with some of these is these are very fringe, if you'll forgive my pun. I'll leave. It's okay. I'll just go. So
I'll just make my way out now.
Yes, Deadpool Man in the High Castle is of course on here. All of the like kind of iconic ones or the ones that everybody knows about are on here. So like Sliders, Man in the High Castle, stuff like that. So yeah.
And the High Castle's so good. We'll get into
I have not seen it, but I generally know what. I generally know what kind of happens. It wasn't. I don't know. I do really like alternate history. I'm just bad at watching things. So
this we know.
And basically, I wasn't too young at the time that it was coming out, but I wasn't that interested because I didn't really know what it was about. So I kind of missed the window a little bit on that.
Man in the High Castle hasn't been out for that long, man.
I feel like it has. I don't know. Maybe time warping thing. I guess I just wasn't that interested and then figured out what alternate history was and I guess didn't have enough. Yeah, that's fair. And didn't have enough interest in it, I guess. But I would. Again, I have, I need to just take about a month or something and just watch a bunch of shit.
Yes, you do. There's a lot of fucking shit that you need to watch.
Oh, no, I know. Oh, no, I'm aware. All right, so I believe no one has voted for SSGB, probably because they've never heard of it. So Sliders moves on.
Fair.
All right, so our next one is My Lady Jane versus The Plot Against America. I've heard of one of these vaguely, and then not the other one, and I feel like I have heard the other one. I didn't realize it was alternate history.
All right, so My Lady Jane
Versus The Plot Against America. So, yeah. I don't know what.
My Lady Jane 2.
Reign of Edward. Okay, so historical fantasy, essentially. So yes, it is alternate history, but in kind of a more... Yeah, okay. I gotcha. So I guess it's kind of alternate history in the same way that Jane Austen books are alternate history, but a little bit more influence. Also, we're going to get to something very similar to this. And then Plot Against America, if I recall, is something...
Yeah, so that's the one about Charles Lindbergh becoming the president. And if you guys don't know this, I know everybody immediately is like, Charles Lindbergh, yeah, America's hero, and he fucking flew across the
No.
Yeah, well, like he flew across the the Atlantic and all this other shit. A lot of people don't realize, because a lot of people don't know this. This is a fact. He was a fascist.
Yeah, big fascist.
He backed the Nazis, and he was very much a thought leader in the American fascist movement, because he wanted America to be under Nazi rule.
Yeah. Yeah, so very anti-Semitic, very conspiratorial. Yeah, so not necessarily the best person in a scarily relevant series.
It's crazy because, like, you have the two things Charles Lindbergh was famous for, and I think that's probably why him being a fascist is like lost in the annals of history. Is that one, he flew across the Atlantic, and that was a big deal. Two was the kidnapping of his son.
Right, exactly.
Because he was a quote unquote American hero, and his son was kidnapped. It was like, that was big news, but just a lot of people just did not realize that he was also a fascist. He did run for president, and lost because he was fucking pro-Nazi.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So I'm going Plot Against America is the point. Chris is going...
I would say Plot Against America. Serious.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's 2 for Plot, and then... Oh, sorry, it's 3. I saw Sack Deadpool there. Okay, so if no one else is going to vote, if anyone wants to try to get about 3 more votes here for My Lady Jane, you can get a period drama through, but we will have another one later. So, that I think is more solidly alternate history. I feel like this may be on here. My Lady Jane may be on here simply because they mishandled the history so much that they just we're like, nope, it's alternate history now. So I'm not entirely sure. I'm not bashing the show. I don't know about it. I'm not really a period drama person. I feel like I probably could be, but also I associate them way too much with Frey, and so
Is Bridgerton on this?
No, but a spin-off of it is more solidly alternate history.
Interesting, because Bridgerton is straight up alternate history.
Bridgerton is alternate history, but the one that explores that alternate history is on here. So Queen Charlotte is on here.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to fit the one that's more alternate history focused than the original series, which is again much more just kind of general period drama, and then slowly reveals itself to be an alternate history, though probably only slightly intentionally. So okay, so Plot Against America is moving on. Right, so great. Okay, so our next matchup here is 11-22-63 versus Counterpart.
Uh,
I have not seen the series for 11-22-63, but I have read the book.
Oh, interesting.
So
Jackie has read the book and watched the show,
ooh,
which surprised me because she's usually not into anything science fiction.
that's odd. It seems like I mean, knowing you, she would be, but
No. She's don't assume because I'm into something that she is. She is not into 90% of
gotcha.
what I like.
I see. Well, that's why we're here. So yeah. So anyway, so for those who don't know, 11-22-63 is basically a guy goes back in time to prevent the assassination of JFK. And then Counterpart is apparently about a dude who finds that essentially he has a counterpart in another dimension that he has to work with to do a bunch of shit, and then there's a lot of conspiracy there. Also, the main character is played by J.K. Simmons, if that helps.
Oh, nice.
So,
Is this the one that was on Amazon Prime?
I believe Apple TV.
That's what it was. It was Apple TV. I know it was one of those networks. Okay, I know what show you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Haven't watched it, but it's one of those things where I want to watch it.
Yeah. So just for familiarity's sake, I'm going for 11-22-63. We have another one there. Phil, what are you going for?
Sorry. I am probably gonna go. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go for 11-22-63.
Great. All right. If anyone wants to again throw in about 3 more votes here, you can get Counterpart going here. I do think we have a kind of a bias towards the more known ones because I feel like everyone like knows, oh, Man in the High Castle, 11-22-63. So
yeah, but it's also whether I've actually watched the show.
I mean that too, and generally that again is going to be the more popular ones. So
yeah, it's like the whole thing is, if I haven't watched it, I don't necessarily know the plot to it. So it's like
right, exactly. And a lot of things, especially the more obscure stuff, it's like I haven't seen either of them, so I'm going to go in and just whatever sounds more interesting. So, all right, that means that 11-22-63 moves on. Unlike JFK. All right, so next we have now I wasn't aware that this was apparently an alternate history, but sure. We have the Umbrella Academy.
Oh yes,
versus
100% alternate.
Cool. I was not aware of this. I yeah. So anyway, versus Hollywood.
Oh, hold on. Okay, what was the first one?
The first one was Umbrella Academy. The second one was Hollywood.
Fuck. Both. I've seen both, and both were really good. So Hollywood, if you're unfamiliar with it, it was a show on Netflix. Hollywood is basically like the early days of Hollywood, right? So it's like, not quite silent film era, but it's like, like early film in like the golden age of Hollywood. So more like 50s, 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of like, the background of Hollywood and kind of like everything that was going on in the background and whatnot. And it's a very interesting story. I'm forgetting his name, Sheldon Cooper. The actor who plays Sheldon Cooper.
Yes. Superman. Superman is in it. David Cornsweet.
Jim Parsons. Jim Parsons plays he plays an agent. right? And he is he is kind of a piece of shit because he's kind of an asshole, and he's also very, very, very gay and deals with a lot of coercion.
Yeah.
Right. And is like, hey, if you suck my dick, then I will get you a meeting with this producer.
Right.
Right.
It's basically, yeah. Essentially, it's kind of Hollywood in its golden age without a lot of the racism that pervaded it then. That's what it sounds like to me.
Kind of. There is a
It's
little
still, it is still art in the history. So
yeah. And then Umbrella Academy, the alternate history on that is, you know, there are scenes where they go back in time to change things in the past in order to fix the future, and it fucks up everything in the future. So like,
I gotcha. Cool. All right. Well,
and it does, they do deal with the assassination of JFK in that too.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, for me, I'm going to go the one that I'm slightly more familiar with, which is Umbrella Academy. So,
oh man, this is a hard one for me because they're both really good shows.
Yeah. Currently, we have none for Hollywood, so
I don't think enough people have probably seen it.
Yeah. And that, again, as I was saying, that is kind of the problem with a lot of these. So.
Fucking Rock Hudson's in it.
Ooh.
And if you don't know anything about Rock Hudson was a closet gay man in real life.
I see.
But he was also a leading man.
Very cool.
So like, there's a whole story arc about Rock Hudson and kind of like him coming up in the background and everything.
Very cool.
And just like trying to hide his homosexuality while navigating being a leading man in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I guess I do go with Umbrella Academy on this.
Okay. Well, you would have been the only vote for Hollywood otherwise, so. Umbrella Academy moves on. All right. So, our next matchup here is a show that I had never heard of and a show that I very much have heard of. It is a show titled Just Alternate History versus Quantum Leap. So I can pretty much predict how this is going to go.
Probably going to be Quantum Leap.
Probably going to be Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap is one of the most beloved shows in... I mean, literally, at the beginning of this, Sack Deadpool asked if we're doing Quantum Leap.
Yeah, so I don't think... I don't think I even need to record this. But from what I know of alternate history, it sounds like it basically had one episode and then they canceled it, so...
Oh.
Yeah. But I guess they couldn't find any other ones that were notable, so...
Totally the show that we're going to vote for then is...
Yes, it's the one they canceled after one episode. So... I'm just gonna put Quantum Leap. I'm just gonna, I'm just going to yeah. All right. So our next matchup is two shows I've never heard of. Something called Motherland. What?
Seems like there's a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, these I don't know if anyone else has either. There's something called Motherland, Fort Salem, and Kingdom.
From what? Oh, hold on. Kingdom, is that the Yes, I'm voting for Kingdom for sure.
Kingdom?
That's exactly what show that is.
Ooh. Shit. I've seen part of this. Yeah, no, I've seen part of Kingdom. The other one is apparently about witches. It's about let's see, witches. Okay, so basically the witches at Salem decide to, I guess they get recruited by the government, and then in the modern day, there's like a witch division in the military.
That sounds interesting, but
Yeah.
no. So, Kingdom. The best way I can describe it is if you took Game of Thrones and mixed in The Walking Dead, and then put the whole thing in Mandarin Chinese.
Yeah.
And you said it in ancient China.
Yeah. South Korea.
Oh, is it Korean?
It's Korea.
And what I said was racist. But but still, either way, it's fucking good. It is so good. Like, just the plot point on everything is good. The writing is good. Everything about the show is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kingdom is definitely the way I'm going on this.
Yeah, I'm also going to do Kingdom since I've actually seen part of it. Never heard of the witch one. Kind of sounds interesting. Also, kind of sounds stupid. So I don't know. It's no Agatha. All right, we have one. Okay, so we have 4 votes for Kingdom so far. So Chris, does that mean you're voting for Motherland, or?
What do you say? He's seen it or what?
No, he said, I think Motherland's about witches. It looked good. So does that mean you're voting for it, or you're just airing your thoughts?
Well, he's got little toes,
I guess. Yeah. It again, it's probably not going to matter very much. Okay, great. So yeah, sorry. So yeah, Kingdom's moving on. Kingdom's moving on. All right, so we have our next one. Again, 2 other shows I haven't heard of, and I don't know, maybe people have. We have Kindred versus An Englishman's Castle.
Kindred and An Englishman's Castle.
Yes.
Not heard of either of these.
Let's see. So Kindred looked more interesting. What is this? Englishman's Castle. All right. So Kindred is about. Shit! I have heard of this. This is. It was a novel, and then it was a book. Okay. So and then. Yeah. So and then it was it was a novel, and it was a series, and it was a TV show. So basically, it's a African American woman, an aspiring writer, is getting pulled back in time, and essentially exploring history. So,
was this
yes, it was, and it's now on Disney Plus as well.
Yeah, I know what show this is.
Yeah, so it's kind of it's alternate history and like time travel and stuff from an African American female perspective. So a lot of things about it was on FX. Written by Octavia Butler, which is pretty impressive. Yeah, so themes of grief and romance and all of that. It's really, it's okay. It sounds really interesting. An Englishman's Castle, on the other hand, is set in alternative 1970s in which Nazi Germany won World War II and English was won by a collaborationist government. So basically, Nazis won World War II and England is now fascist.
That sounds like another show we talked about earlier.
Yeah, versus this show, which sounds quite good.
What channel was An Englishman's Castle on? Was that BBC?
That is a BBC miniseries.
That sounds like a thing.
First broadcast in the year 1978.
Oh, that is old.
Yeah. I had to go obscure for some of these just because there were not that many. Yeah. I'm going Kindred.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Kindred too.
Great. So let's see. In terms of what do we got here? So we have Kindred. We're both going Kindred. No one's voting for Castle. Yeah, I'm just gonna say Kindred because I don't think anyone's ever heard of the other one. So, all right, we're gonna go with Kindred for Kindred to move on. Great. Then we have two that I have heard of, and two that I've seen at least parts of. We have Watchmen, the TV series, versus For All Mankind.
Oh, both good. Both good.
Yeah, I am very much interested in both of them. I think I've seen parts of both of them. So
yes, they are both good shows.
Watchmen. If you're watching this channel, you should know what Watchmen is.
Yeah.
And then For All Mankind is alternate space race, essentially.
Yeah.
I think the Soviets land on the moon first. I think that's the divergence point there. So, though again, I'm expecting Watchmen to win. Though For All Mankind looks really good. It looks like and from kind of what I've seen, it's kind of from Earth to the Moon, but alternate history.
For All Mankind is a really, really, really well written, really good series.
Yeah. So,
with what's his name? Fuck, I'm forgetting his name. He was in Suicide Squad. What the hell's his name?
I'm looking.
Plays Rick Flag. He's the
I'm sorry. So both of these series, technically, in a weird way, were created by people with the last name Moore.
Oh wow!
Because For All Mankind is Ronald D. Moore and Watchmen's Alan Moore. So yeah,
that's funny.
That's funny. Joel Kinnaman, isn't it?
Joel Kinnaman. That's who I'm trying to figure out.
Joel Kinnaman.
Yeah, Joel Kinnaman. He is the protagonist in the show, and it's really well done.
Yeah. So yeah, the Soviet Union beats the United States, and then the space race continues, and the Cold War by extension continues. So
yeah,
obviously Watchmen is Watchmen. So I think I'm obligated to go for Watchmen, but For All Mankind sounds really, really, really good. So
between both, again, I like both shows. And For All Mankind is a really well written, really well done show. And I love Joel Kinnaman's performance in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I go for Watchmen.
Great. Which means I don't think anyone has voted For All Mankind.
Again, that's another show that I think a lot of people just haven't watched.
Yeah, I agree. I am expecting Watchmen to win this whole thing, but we're gonna see. I mean, that's Sack Deadpool. That's kind of what For All Mankind is. Because it'd be interesting to see a show where the USSR won the Cold War. That's kind of what it is. It's more of the Cold War continued.
Yeah, it's not that the Soviets won the Cold War. It's more
they got to the moon first, and then
got to the moon first, and they won the space race.
Yeah. So I feel like there probably is a show, or at least a shit ton of books somewhere where the USSR won the Cold War. That's more of a discussion on historiography and what we consider that, because I don't really think anyone won the Cold War. There wasn't really anything to win. Like, I guess you could say, oh, the USSR became became the one that kind of got out. So I guess America collapses is the idea. But yeah, no, hey, discussing it sounds really interesting. So yeah. So I believe unanimously Watchmen moves on.
It like the whole thing changes. It's not that Russia wins the Cold War. It's more that they start establishing bases on moon, and there's
That's
by like season 3, they're like fighting on the moon.
yeah. I was more going off of Sack Deadpool's idea than I was talking about the series anymore.
Yeah.
I was just saying, I was like saying, oh yeah, that's a really interesting concept. So, I mean, yeah, Chris. It sounds like that's also what happened. But probably more by virtue of the divergence point of the Soviets landing on the moon. So, all right, we are moving on because Watchmen moves on. So, we have the Man in the High Castle versus Cavemen.
Cavemen.
Again, I looked this up because it was on one of the lists of that I saw. Apparently, it was is known as one of the worst television series in history.
It's man.
Again, I was kind of betting on Gravy being here, so because he'd be voting for that. Apparently, it was like an expansion of like some of the Geico commercials where they had cavemen, and it's if Neanderthals never went extinct.
God.
And then like settled into middle class life. And then Man in the High Castle, if you don't know, which I think probably most people here know. Yes, Chris, it is that one. Apparently that's alternate history. Apparently it was on a list I looked at. And I had to look it up, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm putting this on the list. So Man in the High Castle, essentially Nazis win World War II, they invade America and split it between them and the Japanese. And then it's, I think, a couple decades on from that.
Right. It takes place in the. I want to say it's. I think it's not. It's not a couple decades. I want to say it's the 50s.
Okay, so it's like
it's just the 60s.
60s. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's if the Nazis had won World War II and invaded and took over the United States and occupied the U.S. and they split the U.S. at the Rocky Mountain line.
Yeah.
And everything west of the Rockies is Japanese territory. Everything east of the Rockies is German territory. And it's basically what's happening is there's a Cold War between Japan and Germany.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's really, it's kind of interesting. And I think it goes off the rails at some point. But a really interesting concept. I've not read the book. I really want to read the book before I do anything else too, because that's supposed to be really good, and that's a Philip K. Dick book. So, So I'm voting for Man in the High Castle. I think Phil probably is too. Yeah. Cool. So then, I don't think anyone's probably voting for the show that is widely considered the worst show in the history of television. So I'm going to just put Man in the High Castle.
So easy, a caveman can do it. Apparently not so easy that a caveman can keep his show running.
Nope. Maybe they should have had a show run by actual cavemen. All right, so we have for the next one, we have one I've heard of and one I haven't. We have Primeval versus Crossbones.
Primeval is literally on TV right now.
I believe a version of it is. Maybe Primeval.
Primeval's on Netflix. It is literally brand new.
Apparently the original series was from 2007. Yeah, apparently the original series was on 2007. I'm maybe talking about something different than you are. Then Crossbones.
Oh God.
Yeah. And that one is okay, so Primeval is anomalies appear in the fabric of space-time where there's a bunch of basically a bunch of dinosaurs and things from ancient history.
Oh my God.
From like prehistoric history, and then
Primeval versus
Crossbones, which is where John Malkovich plays Blackbeard. But essentially Blackbeard becomes a politician. Yeah, Blackbeard becomes a politician on, I guess, a pirate island.
Oh God, John Malkovich, Richard Coyle, Claire Foy, Jasmine Al-Mazari.
Yeah.
Neither of these look like anything I'd ever want to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, they both look a little all right, well.
If I have to choose one or the other, I guess I go with Crossbones.
Like,
Looks so stupid.
I know quite a bit about I kind of know Primeval. It's not that stupid. It's more of a like it's like Friends with dinosaurs, essentially. Is what it sounds like. Yeah, it sounds like it's Friends with dinosaurs.
Which we all understand you picked that because dinosaurs.
Oh no, I'm picking Crossbones, but you know.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying what Primeval is, and I think that Crossbones is a little bit more alternate history. So, and I kind of want to watch both now. So we have one for Primeval, one for Crossbones. That's now 3 for Crossbones. Okay. Okay. So cool. So I think if no one else is going to go and vote here, then Crossbones is moving on. I really kind of want to watch some of these things now. All right, so now we have one. Yep, we have one just for Say Wong, and another one for I think maybe 2 or 3 people here. We have, I believe that's Oku. If it's like Oku, Ooku, versus Queen Charlotte. So Oku is an anime. Is it an anime? Yes, it is an anime. Oku the Inner Chambers. And versus Queen Charlotte, which Queen Charlotte is a Bridgerton spinoff. If that helps anyone.
So we have none of that shit.
Then we have so Oku sounds like a yep, that's you know what? I expect nothing less from you, Sandra, thank you. All right, so
what does Sandra say?
Well, she's voting with Queen Charlotte, and like, yeah, I expect nothing less. Thank you. So Oku sounds like it's Japanese. During the Edo period, a number of men were deceased due to a strange epidemic called smallpox. Essentially, the smallpox epidemic in Japan was much, much worse. And so women take over most of the ruling of Japan in the Edo period. So that's the divergence point there. And then Queen Charlotte, if I remember correctly, was something about alternate. I mean, it's basically Queen George marries someone different, I guess is the idea.
Queen George? Okay.
Yeah, he marries someone. I'm trying to remember what her actual.
You did it again. Queen George?
Queen Charlotte.
No, but you said Queen George.
I said King George. King George.
You said Queen George.
Have I said Queen George this whole time?
You said it twice. That's why I was like, Queen George.
Right, so Queen George. No.
Because I was like, oh, so Queen George?
King George of England.
I'm saying, so I said, so Queen George. You like, you go, yeah, Queen George. I don't. Fuck, man.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to sort through this and figure out what the divergence point is here. Sorry, King George III.
That is an alternate history. If it was Queen George,
that would be on history, and I would very much watch that.
Yeah.
So, King George III marrying Queen Charlotte of Mecklenburg Straits, which is a German state. But essentially, Queen Charlotte is certainly art history. Queen Charlotte is of African descent, and so the whole idea is that through this marriage and through basically there's more wide acceptance of British African people in kind of the early 1800s or so. So that's the idea there. Sorry, early 18th century.
Yeah, it's basically something that would have never happened because
it would have never
of British superiority bullshit.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it still would have. Yeah, that's a Queen. Yeah, so we have one for Queen Charlotte,
AKA
nothing else. Yes, AKA Bridgerton, AKA spinoff of Bridgerton, versus Oku, which sounds interesting. It sounds really cool. Just from what I know more about, I'm going to have to vote Queen Charlotte because I know more about it.
Did you see what the rating on Oku is?
No, I did not. It is here it's 7.2 out of 10. The actual like animated one. Because there's an animated one, there's a live action one that is apparently significantly worse.
Well, I mean that's pretty much what happens anytime you make any anime live action.
Steve Bloom is the narrator.
Interesting.
Yeah. Huh. It sounds cool. Yeah, the Bridgerton story versus Oku.
I'm just waiting on
comment on screen.
I have watched it. I did like it. Fuck you.
Hi, James. Yeah, I don't have that ability. I like that you. I like that you think I do.
What is James saying?
He said put comments on screen. It's trying to put on your producer pants. Yeah, I don't have that ability. I can't do that. Okay, great. Well, the next time around, we'll figure that out. We will figure that out in the interim here.
Shud the chud.
I don't like. I'm okay with the shud part. I'm not okay with the chud part. That's the problem here.
That's the whole point.
So Sewang, are you voting for Oku since you were talking about it here? Shud knows how to put comments on. No, I don't. Well, okay, maybe my variant Shud does, but you know. So, yeah. All right. So what are you voting for, Bill?
I guess Queen Charlotte.
Okay, great. Queen. Okay, Sewang's also voting for Queen Charlotte. Great. So unanimously, the Bridgerton spinoff moves on. Queen Charlotte and/or Queen George moves on.
Queen George.
So our next one, we have, I believe, another anime, though I'm not sure, called Alnoa.0 versus Fallout. I think I know which one's gonna move on.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck all Noah dot whatever the fuck it is.
I'm about to tell you what it is.
Okay.
I'm just gonna read the log line. In 1972, an ancient alien hypergate was discovered on the surface of the moon. Using this technology, humanity has begun migrating to Mars and living there while creating the Vers Empire. Now, in 2014, war is brewing between Mars and Earth.
Fun times. We're voting for.
We're voting for Fallout. Everyone's voting for Fallout. Everyone's voting for Fallout. Great. All right. Oh yeah. Synopsis.
Oh, synopsis.
That was a synopsis. All right, great. So, I'm just, you know what? I'm just gonna put. Yep, Fallout is. I'm not even waiting for this. Fallout's moving on. So, next we have Timeless versus Outlander. These are two things I have heard of.
I have watched the first 2 seasons of Outlander, so I know Outlander.
Great. And then Timeless is time travel. It's all about time travel. And it's a bunch of people going through time. And I guess changing shit. Yeah, and basically they're trying to make sure that other people don't make an alternate history.
Holy shit. There's a lot of actors that I know in this.
And then yeah. So the other one is Outlander. Yeah, Outlander is mostly romance, but I guess has some alternate history in it.
Well, I mean, because the whole point is she ends up in.
Well, I get, yeah, she is time traveling, so I guess that's the other. That's the divergence point. Is she get
she's a modern nurse like that ends up in ancient Scotland.
Right, exactly. So you know.
So I go with Outlander.
Yeah. Timeless sounds fun. Yeah. I'm gonna go Timeless actually.
Yeah. Obi-Wan Kenobi's in that.
Yes. Ian McGregor is in that.
No, Matt Lancer is in it.
Oh, Matt Lancer is
the voice of
Obi-Wan. Oh, I didn't even see it. Oh yeah, Matt Lancer is in it. Very cool. I didn't even Oh, it's been a lot of Obi-Wans. Okay, so Timeless versus Outlander. Yes, I'm sorry, James, did I not preface the whole thing with there will be spoilers for all of these? Wait, is Matt Lancer Anakin, not Obi-Wan?
Oh, he might be Anakin.
Okay, because James is saying he's Anakin. Yeah. So. Yeah. Oh yeah. James Earl Taylor is Obi-Wan. That's right. Okay, so we have vote for Outlander, vote for Timeless, another vote for Outlander, another vote for Timeless. Okay, so currently they're, I think, even. Oh no, James voted for Outlander. All right, so Outlander is moving on. That's fair. That's about what I expected. Cool. All right. Then we have one that was on all the lists. Well, so first is Hunters, which sounds really interesting. The second one is one that was on every list. Technically, it is alternate history. It's also about Alfred Pennyworth.
Oh, Pennywise.
Pennyworth.
Yeah. Sorry, Pennyworth.
Yeah. Hunters versus Pennyworth.
Hunters is really good.
Yeah, Hunters is something about. Yeah.
So Hunters is technically alternate reality or alternate history, but it's actually based on something that actually happened.
Right, because it's based on the whole. Yeah. Because I'm familiar with
Nazi hunters. Yeah, the Jewish Nazi hunters.
Yeah, exactly. I am. Yeah, there is also a show called Nazi Hunters, which is more the history. But yeah, no, it sounds really interesting, and it is an Amazon series too. So
and it's with Al Pacino.
Yeah, with Al Pacino. Then Pennyworth is basically Alfred's origin story,
which I've actually heard is good.
Yeah.
But it was on a streaming service that nobody knew about.
Yeah, and then I guess it moved to HBO Max like a couple years ago. Yeah, it was on MGM Plus,
which was also like it was some other like streaming service before that.
Yeah,
like MGM ended up buying it, but it was called like Cineplex or something like that.
Cineplex.
Yeah, it was something fucking stupid, and because they were trying to build this streaming service, and that was the show that they were trying to build it on.
Yeah,
was somehow to do that, and it's like,
yeah. I mean, I guess look. If we're including Pennyworth, technically, I could have just included literally every comic ever. I mean, or every comic show and, visual medium that's not a movie ever. But that would have been too much, and we only have 32 slots. So, okay. So James, that means you're voting Hunters. I am going to vote Hunters.
I said Hundreds was good. Hundreds
Yeah.
was a good show.
Yeah. So cool. So all right. So that's two for Hunters. We have 3 for Hunters. Cool. All right. So I'll give everybody a little bit to vote here. Yeah, but no, I mean, yeah, Hunter sounds good. I'm putting it on a list now. Here we go. All right. I am moving on. Hunters is moving on.
As it should.
So then we have for the final 2 of our first little section here, we have 1983 versus Knots and Crosses.
1983
versus Knots and Crosses. I have never heard of either of these. So let's see. So 1983. So 1983 is Polish, apparently.
Yeah.
And let's see. Then Knots and Crosses. Okay, Knots and Crosses is British. All right, so 1983 is basically there's a terrorist attack in 1983 in Poland, and basically it's about a conspiracy to keep Poland in line with the Soviet Union. Then Knots and Crosses is basically it's a dystopian society where society is divided by color, but it's all reversed. So basically, people of African descent are the ruling class, whereas people with European descent are the lower class. So, and then there's a forbidden romance and commentary. So that sounds really interesting. So I'm going to vote for Knots and Crosses.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with Knots and Crosses.
Great. Sag Deadpool's going 1983. All right. So we need more votes, people. Come on.
Gotta start telling your friends about this stuff, guys.
Yeah, come on. Spread the word. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends
tell your mom. Tell your grandma. Your grandma will love it.
Tell all your friends about distance nerding and about all the fun we have.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We need somebody to break the tie here. Also, fuck you, James.
James,
he said, Liam, you should watch it. Yes, we evenly split. We need someone to break the tie here. James, the choices are 1983 versus Knots and Crosses. And 1983 is terrorist attack in Poland, a bunch of Soviet stuff. Knots and Crosses is basically racial stereotypes and general roles reversed. Uh, 1983 moves forward. Because of James.
1983.
1983 moves forward. Yep, because of James by one vote. All right. We're just moving past it. We're gonna move past it. We're gonna move past the bad decisions here. All right. We can probably get 2 more done here before we have to end. So, we have Fringe versus Sliders.
Fringe versus Sliders.
Yes. So, what do we think here, folks? We got a Fringe. We got a Sliders. Yeah, we got Fringe. We got 2 Fringes and a Sliders. I am going to go with Sliders. So, what are you going for? Oh, you want me to? Okay. Apparently, James wants to read the synopsis here of both.
He wants you to read the synopsis.
All right. All right. So we have. Okay. So for Fringe, FBI Special Agent Olivia Dunham is assigned to the Bureau's Fringe Division when she investigates unusual crimes and occurrences. Assisting Olivia in her investigations are the once institutionalized scientist Dr. Walter Bishop, his jack-of-all-trades son, Peter, and FBI Junior Agent Astrid Farnsworth. As the team investigates cases of science gone awry, they discover connections to their own past into a parallel universe. As the team explores life and solves cases in these interconnected worlds, new discoveries and complications continue to arise. Fringe is also J.J. Abrams and Alex Kurtzman, if that helps anyone. Sliders. Quinn Mallory has a problem. He's discovered a way to travel to other dimensions. So what's the issue? He can't get home. But don't worry, he's not lost alone. Yeah, so it looks like I did not see it on any of the lists. I don't know why I didn't. That is a good point.
What show?
Eureka should be on here.
Oh.
That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't even. That was on none of the lists I looked at for some reason. I don't know why. I guess people just forgot about it, but.
Because that's alternate history, right?
That is alternate. Is it? The best minds seeking and detect a way to build futuristic inventions for the government's critically wrong. I don't know. Yeah, it's. I guess it's kind of. Yeah, it is alternate history.
Alternate history adjacent.
Alternate history adjacent. I mean, hell, Fringe is alternate history adjacent, so, you know. Oh, yeah, sorry. Eureka doesn't exist in this timeline.
It was always me. Would you even care if you knew?
Okay, so, yes, so. Let's see. 1 for Sliders, 1 for.
You could never fall.
Okay, that's you. Yes, Phil, you are indeed the tiebreaker.
Who do I disappoint?
It's up to you. It's not like you're live in front of.
It's not like I'm live on the internet.
It's not like you're live on the internet where everyone can hear you.
Well, no, my intuition keeps telling me to go for Fringe.
All right. Then Fringe moves on. I believe we have time for one more. And that one more will be the Plot Against America versus 11/22/63.
So are we going for Charles Lindbergh becomes the Nazi president? Or let's fuck up history and let's botch JFK's assassination.
Right, exactly. James, I'm not giving you a synopsis for all of these. Plot Against America basically is what if Charles Lindbergh became president in kind of the general, like, I think 30s, like late 30s, and essentially moved America further towards the Nazis and fascism. 11/22/63 is let's go back in time and prevent JFK's assassination and then fuck it up.
Botchamania, bro.
Yep.
Basically, he keeps messing it up, and he has to go back in time, like multiple.
Yeah, essentially, it's kind of funny if it wasn't, trying to prevent someone from getting assassinated. All right, there's one there. So, James, in light of that, where do you go? I am also going to go 11/22/63. This is classic, and I've actually read the book there. Though Plotting Against America sounds really good.
It's a good show.
So, yeah. And also, I mean, that's hilarious that, that's a very, very unrealistic alternate history where, Americans would elect a fascist. Couldn't happen here. Could not happen here. All right, so we have currently 2 votes for 11/22/63 and none for Plot Against America. So,
well, for Plot Against America.
All right, so we got 1 for Plot Against America. All right, if anyone wants to, oh, that's good. I didn't even see that. Sack Deadpool says, I'm going to go 11/22/63 because that series was mind-blowing. It's too soon.
There.
It's too soon.
See what you did there.
Too soon.
Is it?
All right, so now they're tied with Sewang. So we need somebody to break the tie here. James, specifically, I need you to break the tie. This is our final one for tonight. Let's see what happens. See what portion of the internet will hate us this time. Will it be the JFK conspiracy theorists or will it be the Nazis? Let's find out.
What a way to like describe this second bracket. JFK conspiracy theorists or Nazis? Who's it going to be?
You decide. Who won? Who's next? You decide.
I mean, that does sound like something that could be on Epic Rap Battle.
Yeah.
Epic Rap Battles of History.
It's Hitler versus JFK. I'd watch that. James is busy binge watching both series simultaneously. That's funny. All right, let's see here. Come on, people. We need somebody to break this tie. Unless somebody wants to change their vote too, that also works.
Yeah, you know what? Thought about it. Decided to change my mind.
Yeah. Anyone? Hey, James. Hi. It sounds like a Joe Rogan podcast episode. Yes, it does. James, please pick one.
He said it sounds like the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah. I'm here with two very fine gentlemen. There were good people. There were good people on both sides.
James is a listener of the Joe Rogan podcast.
All right, 11/22/63 is moving on.
Right. I only have a little bit left on this. If you want to just like knock one more out.
Sure, I'm good with that. Everyone can stay here for one more. Well, that's even better. So our next. Our final category of the night here is the Umbrella Academy versus Quantum Leap.
Ooh. That's good.
So is it Scotty Backs or something people fucking up history? Got Umbrella Academy. Got one there. I am going to go Quantum Leap, just because I know that's more of a classic. So
It is. It is. And I mean,
I would say in terms of that, it's had some more of a cultural impact.
I was gonna say Quantum Leap does deal specifically more with like jumping through history and jumping through time and whatnot.
Right.
Whereas
Leap.
the Umbrella Academy, it's kind of more like it's a plot point, but it's not what the show centers around.
Right. Exactly. All right. So what are you going with in line of that then?
And I really do like Umbrella Academy a lot. It's a good show.
Yeah.
But I think Quantum Leap is is probably the show that deals with the subject more.
Great.
So
All right.
I'm gonna go with Quantum Leap.
All right. James, I don't know what Ziggy means, so like an actual answer.
It's a Quantum Leap reference.
Oh. So I believe that's an actual answer. You there. All right. All right. Unless anyone wants to shore up about 3 more votes here, Quantum Leap is moving on.
Okay,
All right. So, yeah. Go for it.
Something doesn't seem right.
All right. So I will go through a summary as you're doing that. So,
Yeah.
we had Fringe beat out Sliders. We had 11/22/63 beat out the Plot Against. Sorry, excuse me. Let me start from the beginning. We had Fringe beat out the Magicians. We had Sliders beat out SSJB. We had the Plot Against America beat out My Lady Jane. We had 11/22/63 beat out Counterpart. We had the Umbrella Academy beat out Hollywood. We had Quantum Leap beat out a show no one's ever heard of. We had Kingdom beat out Motherland Fort Salem. We had Kindred beat out An Englishman's Castle. We had Watchmen beat out For All Mankind. We had Man in the High Castle beat out Cavemen. We had Crossbones beat out Primeval. We had Queen Charlotte beat out Oku. We had Fallout beat out Aldnoah Zero. We had Outlander beat out Timeless. Hunters beat out Pennyworth. 1983 beat out Knots and Crosses. Then Fringe beat out Sliders. And 11/22/63 beat out Plot Against America. And Quantum Leap beat out the Umbrella Academy.
Nice. All right.
Our next, our matchup for the next thing, if Gravy is back, or if not, whatever, I'll continue doing this. Kind of fun. It's Kingdom versus Kindred, Watchmen versus Man in the High Castle, Crossbones versus Queen Charlotte, Fallout versus Outlander, and Hunters versus 1983. So, tune in next time for the exciting conclusion. Or, actually, it probably won't be the conclusion, but whatever.
Just so you guys can see, this is where we're at right here. So we've got his legs. Majority of his body is done. So, like this whole piece comes up right here. Hide his hands when you transform him, because it is, you do transform the whole thing. His arms right there, the upper parts of his arms which fold back, to when he becomes a truck. So I can do a portion of it right now. I can't do like the full transform because he.
Right. Yeah, sure. Damn it, James!
What do you say?
He said, "Why they got to be cars?"
I know. We probably ask his mom.
Yeah. Ask Frey. She's got a lot of conspiracy theories about it.
So far, this is the truck that I have on there. Again, there's a lot of the cap missing because his arms aren't done yet.
Yeah.
Right, but like his legs transformed into a truck. The whole front piece right here. Again, this piece right here is where his head goes. So his head will fold up right there, and that kind of hides behind his arms over here.
Hey, it's like Deadpool. You don't know me. You don't know what I want. You see, he answered James. He said, "Because no one wants a transformer that changes into a butt plug." You don't know me, Tag Deadpool. You don't know what I want.
Sure. Whatever floats your boat, buddy.
Mm,
We don't kink shame here.
I'm not sure if it's really floating, but okay. Anyway, so all right. Well, yeah. Thank everyone for tuning in here, and come back. I think tomorrow we will have the continuation of this. Or no, tomorrow's just a 1-hour show, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And we have a guest. So next week, next Thursday, we will continue the alternate history TV show bracket.
Correct.
So, and then move on to God's know what. There's something else that will piss off half the internet.
Yeah, I mean, majority of our opinions.
Right. And I know everyone is mad at me, not for having opinions, but for not having seen things to form opinions. Yes. I have not seen anything.
Catch you up. Man.
No, I know. I really need to. I'm bad at watching things by myself. That's the problem. So it's like I need to just sit down sometime with some streaming services and just go, all right, I'm going to go watch this and this and this and this and this. So.
All right. So let me switch cameras over here.
You can see your beautiful, handsome Squidward face. With the bracket of stuff should watch.
Again, so with that, if you guys haven't seen Eric's new picture of me,
yes, it'll be an endless list. Yeah, I have a running list. It's way more than 32. Believe me.
But yeah, why's it got to be cars? Because no one changes into a butt plug. It'd be pulsating for sure. Where's the stuff should watch? That would be an endless list.
Again, it is way more than 32. I can tell you that. I don't know how many it is. I mean, just movies and TV shows. It's a long list, and I'm still adding to it. So yeah.
Well, Shadu, before we get out of here, man, go ahead and give everybody your pluggable, sir.
All right. I am SHD Studios on YouTube and on Instagram. I currently do Outer Scrolls content, TTRPG videos, lore from my own fantasy world, my own custom music, paranormal investigations, and so much more nerdy stuff. I am also on Frey's channel. We have a little series called Classified, where we take your favorite pop culture characters and place them into their respective D&D classes. We are currently working on Season 2. And there's also Journals of the Ancestors, which is a continuation of Journals of Classes, where we will go over the different races, ancestries, and or species that inhabit the worlds of the multiverse. I am also in the Distance Starting Sphere. I am on the download on Tuesday, the build on Thursday, and sometimes Fridays, which is the very show you're watching right now. And I am allegedly on Kaiba Cave Productions. Allegedly.
Looking on Instagram. Still didn't get any votes on Instagram, but Night of the Chihuahuas did show up and say hunk of chunk of burning love all over again.
I wait for the day when we can do like live polls.
If we do what I'm thinking of doing, like, so I've already been thinking, just because of the amount of people that we get on here, of just migrating everything over to YouTube.
Yeah.
And if we migrate everything over to YouTube, then we can start doing live polls on the show.
Ooh. All right. I'd be into that.
Also,
I think it'll probably be a little easier for, yeah.
Yeah. Also, depending on who I go to, so there's another company I've been looking into, and they will do like live polls in from their streamer platform.
Very cool. Nice. All right.
So we'll look into that kind of stuff. But yes, guys, you know who I am. I'm your boy, Young Phil. Connect with us on all of the social media places: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's not X. We're never going to call it X. Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, Blue Sky, MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. You guys already know. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and mandals, the beard, Chamez's glasses, and everything Shadu will do for two. Yeah, all the 2 penny shows.
Everything. Yeah,
that Shadu will do, and apparently these ASMR things that he's doing right now.
I got a good microphone. I gotta have some reason for it. It also sounds a little bit like Batman with like a respiratory illness.
I'm Batman. Now I'm Batman. Now go get me another pack of cigarettes. If you'd like us to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, just tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or wish the internet would consume us completely and spit us out at the feet. Or I guess it wouldn't be the feet; it would be at the wheels. I don't know, of a transformer that turns into a vibrator. You can email us. Oh God, that is.
Well, no, it wouldn't have wheels because I mean,
It,
let's just move on.
Just at the feet of whatever goes into an anal probe. Dish.
I don't. I mean, that's an awfully small transformer, though. That's the problem. I'm not sure what they're gonna. It's like an Ant-Man print. Well, no, hold on.
Sack Deadpool at the knees of Anakin. Ensnerding at AOL.com, and we will read it on air. Guys, this is what I'm going to ask for. This time tomorrow, I want you to send us an email that tells us what your favorite kind of transformer would turn into. All right. It can be anything, as long as it's something that makes sense for a transformer.
Yes. Remember, not all of them do technically have to be vehicles.
Right. I mean, some of them have turned into animals.
Yeah.
According to Michael Bay, they can turn into people.
Right. Which, okay, fine, sure. Sure, why not?
Yeah. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. It is now time for the dance party. So we will get this going. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's guest is Eddie Deason. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar with Eddie Deason, let me pull up his IMDb real quick, because there's a lot of stuff that Eddie's been in. Specifically, I mean, he's been in a lot of like horror movies, but not just that. Eddie Deason was in Grease.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here we go. Right here. He was in War Games, The Polar Express, Grease. He was in Critters. He was in the Powerpuff Girls. Ooh, let's see. Oh, he was a Transformer.
Oh, hey, look at hey. Yeah. Cross-branding.
Yeah, he was a Transformer. Oh shit, he was in Star on the Forces of Evil.
Nice.
Of course, Dexter's Laboratory.
Right. That's
he played Mandrake. He played Mandrake. So he played.
Yes, I'm somewhat familiar. Yeah, a lot of the anime and stuff you've said I've seen most of. So
he's been in Chowder. He's been in multiple episodes of SpongeBob, including an episode of SpongeBob where he plays himself.
Ow! What?
Yeah.
It would be really funny if he was in the Handsome Squidward episode.
That would be funny.
I don't think he was. It would be really funny. I don't think
he was in that episode, but again, he's Mandark, Lloyd in Space. I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
God, he's been in so much more than I thought he was. But yes.
The point is, he's been in a lot of shit. Tune in if you want to hear about all that.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. He will be on the show tomorrow. We're going to have a whole bunch of fun. Yes, iconic voice. But also not just an iconic voice. Again, he's been in all kinds of he's been in a lot of live action stuff from the 80s early on, all the way through.
Yeah.
Oh God. Sack Deadpool said Transformer that turns into a life-size blow-up doll shaped like an early 90s version of Pam Anderson.
We should have stopped with the butt plug.
No, that's fine. That's even funnier. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from us. We will see you guys tomorrow, bright and early at the ripe early hour of 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, guys, we will see you all tomorrow. Everybody have a good night. And as always, remember, keep nerding together. We'll see you guys later.
All right.
Distance nerding.
So random.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of nerdy stuff here.
We'll see everybody tomorrow.